There are so many ways you can grow tons of beautiful roses in the garden by cloning a mother plant to produce a new baby plant. Hello my fellow YouTube gardener, welcome back. This is Marcelina at cashewgreens.com. This video is about rose propagation. But before we continue this video, if this is the first time you come across to my gardening channel, consider to subscribe. Also don't forget, click the bell for notification so you will first get notified when I upload new videos. And if you want to see more videos on roses, just check the suggested video you see on the screen after the end of this video. So let's get started and see me on the other side. There are so many ways to grow tons of beautiful roses in the garden through propagation, such as this one. This is a beautiful rose, guys. Look at that. Look at it. This is an old rose garden. This is Europeana. And I like this kind of garden rose because it is a disease resistant and it is also cold tolerant. So that's what you need in your garden to be able to grow roses that are cold hardy and disease resistant. When I say disease resistant, doesn't mean that your rose doesn't get a disease. It gets a disease, but they are resistant to it. So this is one of the beautiful roses that I have. So today on this video, I'm going to show you on the how to propagate the selective roses that I have here in the garden. So there are so many different kinds of propagation. You can propagate them by seeds, by stem cuttings. Stem cuttings is probably the easiest method of propagating plants, and then you can also do the grafting. And I'm going to show you, this video is not a grafting, but I'm going to show you on the next few videos on how to graft plants so you can apply the method. So today we're going to do air layering the roses, which is one of the other methods of propagating plants. And we're going to air layer 3 roses, and there are different techniques that I'm going to show it to you, and this is amazing. So let's get started. Alright guys, so today we're going to air layer our roses, and we're going to propagate this mother plant so we can have more of this. This is so beautiful, guys. Look at that. It's just like a bouquet. So you cut the stem, put in the base, and here you go, you have a bouquet. So we're going to propagate this, and there are 3 other methods that I'm going to show it to you. And the first method would be the clamshell, and I have a video on how to air layer roses using the clamshell. So watch that video and we will do that first. Then the second one, we will do the other methods, then to the next. And after this video, you can decide which propagation would you choose. So let's get started, and I'm so excited, guys. I'm going to get some materials here and I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so what we're doing here, we're going to air layer our roses using the clamshell. So I have the video on this, on how to air layer your roses using the clamshell. So we do this one first. So we have the materials here. We have the clamshell. We have the zip ties. I have the 4 zip ties in here. You don't need to have these zip ties if you don't want to, but to give more support for your clamps, so that's why I use the zip tie. So I have the pruner in here. I have the knife. I have the masking tape where I have to write my label. I have the marker, then the tissue so I can wipe the alcohol, and I have the basin with the media cocoa fiber. Now the first thing that before you do your procedure, make sure that you assess the plant. So assess the plant for any sign of stress, any sign of diseases, because you don't want to propagate plants that is infected with disease. You want to keep the healthy plants. So we're all set, and let's begin.
Hey Ma, how many videos subscriptions did we get today?
I don't know, yo. Nothing.
Nothing? Shoot, man, y'all better start subscribing or we're gonna quit making all these doggone videos for y'all.
Really helps our channel, y'all idiots.
Yeah, subscribe and like and share that mother.
Yo, that's what I'm thinking, yo.
Oh man, a hillbilly Filipina.
That's pitiful, Ma.
Pitiful, Ma.
Okay, so after you remove the cambium, you apply with Clonix. So I use this Clonix gel. I always use the Clonix here when I do my propagation. I just pour this in here. And then you can use, as I mentioned, you can use brush, paintbrush, or Q-tips. So I have the Q-tips here. So always make sure that it's close to the node. And then you are going to coat it good to that area, because the Clonix gel allows your propagation to produce root. Okay, so now it's coated. So what we're doing here, we're going to put this cocoa fiber in the clamshell. Now there are two sides. This one here is in the bottom, this one here in the top. So the black color prevents that from the sun. You want to make sure that it's preventing that sunlight. And when I use this clamshell, I also wrap it with black plastic bag, but you don't have to because it's already black. Make sure that the sun is blocking that area. And this side here is clear. This is the area where you can see if your propagation is, if the plant is rooted. So you squeeze the media, squeeze the water in here, and you place it in the shell. You do it both sides. Okay. Now you put them, make sure that they are in the same side. So the bottom is this one here, because that's where you put your zip tie. All right. So you have to put that facing towards the top, because when you water your propagation, you water in this hole. So you just clamp it together. And clamp it. So I support the zip tie because it helps holding them up. This will give more support. Okay, now it's clamped in there. So I clamp the other side in there, so I have free hand. Okay, now it's there. And we finish the zip tie. You have to tie 4 sides. Okay, now it's holding. So this one would slide. There is a stopper in here that you can put to hold that. Okay, so that shell has a piece like this. This will support the bottom from sliding down. So what you need, make sure that you are facing like that. And then you have used a zip tie. You just do like that. I should be doing this first before I put the clamshell, but you can also do this way. So what you need, you just put it in here. Make sure you align it. This is to prevent the shell from sliding. So you have to tie it not too tight because you don't want to be too tight. It prevents things. It's restricting the steam. Alright, so that would do it. And then you need to cut the zip tie. Okay. So that's how you use the ear layering using the clamshell. Now after you're done, you label the plant. So what you are doing here, you have to write the name. So I have the marker here. So this is old pink rose. This is heirloom. And then date and year. Okay, so I take this out. So you check your propagation within 2 weeks because that is the prime time that this start rooting. So just put it in here. Okay, so that is how you ear layer roses. Then every now and then you see your propagation. If it is dry, then you just have to water on the top. This one here, that's the purpose of that. Alright, so we finished ear layering our roses using the clamshell and Jiffy plug. Now we're going to move on to the last method of ear layering our roses. So stay with me till to the end because I'm going to show you this method. But before we move on and finish this video, I'm going to announce here that we just launched our new ebook on rose propagation. It is a book written by Greg Stephen. It is a good book, covers a lot of information, pages by pages, to help you how to grow tons of beautiful roses like this one. So I'm going to link this on this video, so check it out. Now, let's proceed. Okay, so the next propagation, we're going to propagate this pink rose here using the GP plug. Now, I have a video on this on how to propagate roses using the GP, and this is our second air layering. So what you need to have a GP here and then soak it in water for 60 seconds. So let's get started. So what you do first, the same thing what you did when you earlier the rose using the clamshell. So always spray with alcohol. So I'm going to select the stem that has branch like this one here. This is very nice. So once I have this rooted, it would be a beautiful whole beautiful bush. So what you need, you have to remove the lower leaves, clear that area, and take out the thorn in here so you don't get poked. Now once you remove all the lower leaves and the thorn, spray with alcohol. Always spray with alcohol. You want that to disinfect, and then wipe it with paper towel using the one stroke. Okay, now we're going to remove this using the knife. Make sure that you have a sharp knife. So make a cut closer to the node, 1 to 2 inches. You want that activity in that area. So the closer to the node is the fastest is the energy. So you just need to cut the top and below. So I want this portion here. And then cut in the middle to remove the bark. It is hot, guys. I'm just sweating in here like crazy. But we will finish this today. So that's how I'm motivated doing it. So make sure that all the thorn is removed. And this bark has to be out. Okay, let's remove. That is removed. Then again, you have to scrape the cambium. Scrape it properly. Make sure that everything, the green stuff, is out. You want that cambium removed all at once, because if you don't, it won't stop the activity. They're still sending energy towards to the top. So scrape as much as you can. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to apply with Clonix gel. Okay, so we're going to alright, so we're going to use the Clonix gel. We need to apply Clonix in the steam. So I apply the Clonix gel here. I just use the Q-tips, then rub into the steam. So stay with me for a while, guys, because we are not done yet here. So there is one more that I'm going to show it to you, the last air layering. So this is the Jiffy. So we're done with the clamshell. So the second is the Jiffy, and then I will show you the last. So at the end of this video, I'm going to ask you which of these techniques that you would want to use, and what is best and easiest method to apply. Okay, so we coated that. Now we already soak our GP. So this is this GP. It's swell now. So you, as I mentioned, you have to soak the GP for 60 seconds. Then after that, you have to squeeze the remaining water. You don't want that water. Squeeze it. Okay. Now after that, you have to cut in half. Slice it. So I use this area in here because it's easier to cut a slit. So cut in half, like that, and open it. Okay. Now what you need is to put that in your area where you have the cut or your propagation. Make sure that the media is touched to the open skin, the open stem. Now that's it in place in here. What you need is to put a cover on it. Okay, so I cut a piece of the aluminum foil. I fold in half. Then I'm going to wrap around the GP. So you wrap around in here. Just like that. Make sure you cover it, but you still have an opening on the top because you need to water this sometimes if it looks dry. Okay, now it's here already. So to prevent from sliding down, you have to pinch the bottom close to the pinch directly to the stem. Okay, now I have this here. I ordered this online. This is to clip your propagation from sliding. There are so many purposes of this, but this is you just take out like that, and it holds the stem. So I'm going to clip here. So that's perfect. So that type of tool is perfect for your propagation. You can see it's just enough, the hole has enough for the stem. I'm going to show you here. So see that? See the hole? So that is the hole. See? This is the hole where you clip, and then the stem would place on that hole, and then you just close it. So this is preventing from sliding down. So this is the pin. Some people use this when you do your laundry, but I see it that there is also a use for propagating the plants. And we're not done here yet. So what we're doing here, we cannot leave this like this. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to reinforce again with a piece of foil. So I will roll the foil in here. So I just use like that. And then I'm going to tie this one with this foil. We finally finished the 3 layering methods. We used the clamshell, the jiffy, and in the bottle. Which of those techniques of ear layering would you like to use? Comments below this video, and thank you for watching, and see you next week. Bye bye.